The Universal Periodic Review, UPR, is a unique process led by the UN Human Rights Council. It is designed as a review of the human rights records of all UN member states. The ultimate aim of this mechanism is to assess and issue recommendations of how to improve the human rights situations. The review of Lebanon was completed at the UPR's 37th session that was held on the 18th of January 2021. The recommendation outcomes issued to Lebanon covered some improvement areas of which: torture and ill treatment, places of detention, human rights in the public sector, gender. Restart Center is keen on addressing these recommendations and improving the human rights situation in Lebanon. These recommendations are also in line with the UN Sustainable Development Goals that are at the core of Restart Center's mission. So, what are the recommendations for Lebanon that Restart Center will tackle? Torture and ill treatment. Recommendation 1. Criminalization. Amend Law 65/2017 by including a comprehensive anti-torture law based on the Convention Against Torture, aiming at guaranteeing an appropriate definition, suppressing statutory periods of limitation, and ensuring redress to victims aiming at its full implementation. Recommendation 2. Impunity. Establish an independent complaints mechanism and ensure that all reported acts of torture and ill treatment against law enforcement officers are investigated promptly and impartially. These recommendations are in line with SDG 16, promote just, peaceful, and inclusive societies. On places of detention. Recommendation 1. Monitoring places of detention. Amend Law 62 to ensure that the National Commission for Human Rights and the National Preventive Mechanism can carry out its mandate effectively and independently, with sufficient resources and full transparency in its work in promoting and protecting human rights. Recommendation 2. Penitentiary system. Take steps that aim at improving the functioning of the penitentiary system, including the improvement of the living conditions of prisoners, with an emphasis on rehabilitation and social reintegration programs, in addition to build the capacity of detention center officials. These recommendations are in line with SDG 16, promote just, peaceful, and inclusive societies. Human rights in the public sector. Recommendation: human rights in the public sector. Continue to mainstream human rights in the public sector, including through creation of human rights units in different government ministries. Strengthen the capacity of armed and civilian personnel on the principles of human rights and follow up on the implementation of recommendations made by international mechanisms. This recommendation is in line with SDG 16 and SDG 4. Ensure inclusive and equitable quality education. Gender. Recommendation: gender. Enact a unified personal status law. Amend the nationality law to afford women the same rights as men, and adopt a comprehensive legal framework to prevent and respond to gender-based violence and harassment. Repeal Article 534 of the Penal Code and enact legislation to protect the rights of LGBTI people. This recommendation is in line with SDG 5, achieve gender equality and empower all women and girls.